Alright, and I am back with another review for you guys. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent. As you can see, we got Marvel Legends, the retro style Spider-Man, Green Goblin. I'm just gonna be real with you. If I had looked at this figure in the store for like 2 more seconds, I probably wouldn't have got him. Not because there's any QC issues or anything like that, but it's just, we'll get into it. But, we've done these before, so there's not much to say. They look good. I like those record cores. I don't have a problem with them. Back when they still had some bios on there, but everyone knows who Green Goblin is. You know what he's about. You know what he's out here doing. I want the Daredevil. I'm trying not to collect Marvel Legends much anymore, because they don't have toe articulation. Most of them don't. But I do still have some to open, so. But for the foreseeable future, I'm going to probably not be buying them as much. But yeah, that's the box. Let's go ahead and run through the old IDEF system. Is the figure in good shape? Does the figure function as intended? Everything that's included with the figure, plus scaling, and then just my final thoughts. Usually a little pose at the end when I'm talking about it too, unless I forget. Alright, and here he is out of package, and there are things that kind of make me want to take back what I said about not getting him, and then things that kind of reinforce it. But, we'll get into the reasons I in package realized I might not have wanted him when we get to accessories. But to start with his articulation, is the figure in good shape? The reason I'm skipping it in articulation is because this upper part of the bicep is super loose, weirdly enough, on both sides, and I don't really know why. I do have some joint tightener though, so it should be fixable, so it's not that big of a issue, but that is, that does count toward it being in good shape. Besides that though, he doesn't have a lot of paint, but I can't find like paint issues or anything. There is like some scruffiness to like the edges of these. I don't think that's a QC issue though. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can't do anything about it. But I think that's kind of supposed to be there. Makes it look more rough and cool. But yeah, besides that, he's in pretty good shape. Even the buckle looks pretty good. Actually, I'm really glad that's like the little bit of paint that's on there that is not messed up or anything. And the eyes, that would suck if the eyes were messed up. I don't know, I guess maybe that white spot is supposed to be different. I don't know, I don't mind it. But does he function as intended? So we would start with the head, can look up super high. This little neck thing moves, but you can look down a decent bit. He does get a little bit of tilt, because of the way the ball joint, he has a very wide hole in there. You can see it up in there, but it does give him a little bit of range, which is cool. And then obviously you can make his head 360. Dog's being kind of a dick. It's not quite all the way, but it's pretty close. It's not bad. And then you got the bicep swivel, of course. Then the loose bicep. Yeah, not to get too deep into my life, bro. I need to get my own place. Dude, I don't know if it bothers you guys when that happens in my videos, but it upsets me greatly. And in my situation, it's not like I can be rude and tell people to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I've put myself in the situation, but I need to get my shit together, bro. Yeah, no, that's not too crazy. He doesn't go back that far. He doesn't go forward that far either. And then I didn't check this. There's no swivel there. And then you guys saw this. It's the basic Marvel Legends articulation there. That's how it always works. And he doesn't have any reason to have it up and down, so. He does have a twist, and I just did notice when I was messing with him that this belt moves, and it is a movable little piece, but he's got the twist, obviously, And then he's got a pretty good kick. There's no drop down, but, oh, you know what? Something I did forget to mention. I can't quite tell. I think he does, though. This QC issue plagues me with almost every brand so far. One leg will be slightly longer than the other, for whatever reason. It's not super bad with him, but you can just barely notice it. But anyways, he's got a nice, good kick, which you need for him to get in certain poses. But that also leaves the issue of this needs to be better, going forward, I mean. But, it's got a nice bend, too. Sorry, I also need a better lighting system. Not bad. And then he's got the boot cut, which you also need that. That goes super far back. I'm sure you could, like, mess with this and get it to go further forward, or, like, you could probably take that off and make it go up a little bit more, but, I'm not going to do that. But, not bad articulation. I'm not upset with it. I wouldn't mind no articulation, but I'm not going to complain because it's a Marvel Legend. Like, I know what I was getting. Yeah, his legs are a little goofy looking, but that's probably because he's not really meant to be in standing positions all the time. But, I would say he functions as intended. Like, we'll see. Let's get into everything that, he's included with. So he's got his Norman Osborn head. He's got the waves. There's, like, slight, like, parts where you can see his scalp, but I'm not going to count that. It's not, whatever. That's not a bad face paint, or, like, face sculpt. Like, that's not bad. And then you got your little pumpkin bomb, which is a cool accessory, but we'll get into that in a second. And then I haven't even messed with it, but here's his glider. I feel like I've heard things about trying to get his feet into here and trying to get him to stay in there, and I'm sure that's not going to be fun. And then look at that. I've never had one, but that is for a Marvel Legends stand, which he didn't come with, which would have been cool. And then he doesn't come with any other hands. No fist hands. And here's the thing that pisses me off. He only comes with hands meant to hold this bomb. And the only way he can hold it is like this. Oh, if I can even get him to do it. Assumptively, this is flames, right? So you're not going to want to put his hand on that for any, like, posing, whatever you're doing with your posing. His hand in no way can really form fit to this. So he can't actually get any sort of, like, grip on it. So it has to be balanced in his hand. And these hands are not even necessarily great for that. But you can definitely do some stuff with it. Like, I think any lower than this, you're going to be pushing it, and he will probably drop it. But, yeah, I barely touched it, and he dropped it. But, and I guess you can do, like, he's fighting Spider-Man. You do some, like some claw strikes. I don't know, man. I just, that's crazy to me, because his primary way of fighting and, hand to hand is going to be punching Spider-Man. I just don't get it, bro. That's crazy. Maybe they just couldn't spare the extra, like, 5 cents to put those in there because of the glider. I don't know, man. I'm gonna see if I can get him in the glider real quick for you, though. Not on camera. Do that, Marvel Legends stand. I really just did all that just to show you that he can stand. It's actually not bad. The little toe hooks kind of act like hooks in there. So especially if you get him in a position where he kind of leans up against it, they will, like, obviously his foot's not touching that, but, like, he's holding in there. And that was not hard. This was very easy to get to work. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying it's like an amazing pose, but it was not hard to work out. But yeah, let's go ahead and get some scaling in for him. Alright, so I did forget to mention, because it was already on him, but, I guess technically you could say this is an accessory. Because you can definitely take it off. It's not stuck to him, but he does have a little bag. Then he's got a little neck piece that moves too. But, I'm not even gonna cut. We'll start with Gamer vs. Miles. I don't know how tall the Green Goblin is, actually. I feel like Gamer vs. Miles, comparatively to, like, Green Goblin and Spider-Man, is a little bit tall, though, so it is what it is. But I am also pretty sure that Green Goblin is supposed to be taller than Spider-Man, and this looks good to me. Also, this is the retro-carded, cel-shaded Spider-Man, so I think these are, like, supposed to go together. I also, just so you know, I went through the trouble of, taking off, where are they? took off these. Super easy to take off, but I had to heat his feet up to put those back on just so I could give you guys an accurate scaling. So I hope you know I love you, and I just want you to know I did that for you. And here he is with Moon Knight. I just put the new cape on him, seriously, just for the review. I'm gonna leave it on him, but I've had it for months and have not put it on him because I just haven't been doing shit with my figures. But it's a little too big, but it'll be really cool once you get some dynamic poses. But you put him in a pose like this, it just feels way too big, but it still looks pretty cool. And for a bigger character, I would have done Hulk. I just don't have him open. I don't know if he's ever met Scar, and I didn't look to see if he's ever had any interaction with the Thing. So I know Luke Cage has put hands on him before, so I just thought that'd be a cool scaling. Luke Cage isn't monstrously huge, but he's a big dude. But I like that scaling. It works for me. Oh my gosh. He's dusty. I'm sorry, Luke. But yeah. Let's go ahead and do the final thoughts, I guess. I'm going to say, despite the fact that he had some loose joints, the lack of hands, the hands that don't even hold the bomb well, the fact that there's no pegs in the glider, which maybe wouldn't be a good thing anyways, but all in all, he's worth $25. If you like Spider-Man and you want Green Goblin, you really can't go wrong. I'm sure you can get some custom hands for him too, and even different pumpkin bombs. The stand is a whole other issue. Even if you get a Marvel Legend one, it's going to be limited on what you can really do with it too, because this isn't even as far as I would go with it, but I like when Green Goblin hits those super gnarly turns where he's literally almost sideways, just leaned up into it. It looks sick. That being said, that's where he's kind of limited. He can only get crouched down so far, and I'm sure I could get him on the board more. But the problem is he can only lean forward so far, which he needs a deep crunch to really get some good, Green Goblin poses. Also, I just noticed, hold on, let me fix that. Because I'm probably going to keep him in this pose for the, the thumbnail I use for, Instagram and Lemonade and stuff. I wouldn't have noticed that. So, cool. I almost wish that was tacked to his shoulder, to be honest. But yeah, not much else I can say. And by the way, in case anyone's wondering, I did purposely leave the bomb out of it just because I wanted to have him in a more flying around, just kind of menacing. But I'd recommend him. I don't know how easy he is to find a store. I just happened to come across him at GameStop when I got him, and I wasn't looking for him. So I know he's a bit of an older figure, but hopefully they'll come out with a better one soon. Or maybe I heard about one. I don't know. I need to check out that, I don't know if it's Hobgoblin or... He has a pumpkin head. I can't remember. He has some sort of glider. I don't know, man. But I think that's going to be it. I hope this was informative. I'm sorry I yapped way too much, but I'm out.